if you didn't draft correctly and you banked on these guys being there all year, then you didn't do your job. I mean, like, you honestly got to think about it like this. Like, if you built a solid team around and you got somebody on your bench that can step in and at least try to fill that void, they're not going to get you that 25, 30 guaranteed plus per week, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta try to fill that void. You gotta make smart decisions, smart moves. If you got a bench, you got really good players, and try to package something to somebody for a buy low candidate. We're gonna get into the buy low candidates pretty soon, but in the sell high candidates. But if you didn't do your job, then I mean, it's gonna be a rough stretch. Like it's gonna be a really rough stretch. I mean, a lot of players, it's like just like Sean said, or I mean, a lot of people draft these players top spot. So all in all,
right
like,
now
you gotta have a backup plan B, and the waiver wire is definitely significant right now.
I mean, right now that Kamara pickup number 1, that's looking pretty good right now.
Shout out Tweez over here.
It's looking pretty good.
Real
I mean,
good.
You know, yeah, like I give you props on that.
I appreciate that, fellas.
I give you props on that.
I gotta give you props on that.
I appreciate
you look like
that.
a psychic right now.
He came through.
He
came through.
Yeah, and also we gonna get into our matchups as well, like what we did. So I guess I can start it off first. The one that took the L, I'll start it off first. All right.
It's all right.
Both of them caught the
dub.
dub. I took the L, and I took it pretty badly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man.
You said a tough week.
Yeah, Thursday night, the person I was playing, he had
It's right there.
yeah, you know, I know that, but he had Michael Thomas. So I was feeling pretty good. Okay, Michael Thomas was out. I'm like, all right, bet I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he put a great plug in with Kareem Hunt, and I was like, Kareem Hunt, he's a solid running back. I mean, he gonna get his touches, whatever. But he ain't gonna do he's not gonna do nothing major. You know what I'm saying? But Thursday night he came through with like 23 points.
23
man.
Points, man.
It's a long Friday and Saturday right there.
Yeah, so I was hurting those next couple of days, Friday, Saturday. I'm like, all right, I can make it up. I ain't had nobody play. And then the 1 o'clock games come on, and then Aaron Jones. Aaron freaking Jones.
Aaron freaking
Anybody,
Jones.
if you lost and you had Aaron Jones in your lineup, so something's just wrong with your squad. Like, anybody who had Aaron Jones,
that's real. That's real. You do.
You know what I mean?
You need to look at the rest of your team.
He put up in our league. He put up 41 points.
43
points.
43, man.
Like, it's hard to come back from that. It's hard to come. And then I had Deshaun Watson. It was just a bad matchup.
You just had bad matchups. Like I think I look at your team and I'm like, David Johnson against Baltimore, Sean against Baltimore. I mean, you made a good. You actually did all right by not starting Will Fuller. I mean, he didn't have no points, but you still got him out of there. I mean, the rest of your team, and then, you really just had bad matchups, man.
And then T.Y. Hilton, man, dropping that pass, easy touchdown.
Yeah, it didn't help you.
Now I gotta readdress my wide receiver position. Like, it's just not working right now. I mean, Marvin Jones gave me a touchdown early, but then he just disappeared after that. Nothing else happened with that. Then nobody else really did nothing on my team.
But I'm gonna say on your team, Darren Waller.
He looks like
the guy. He's better than last year.
Yeah, he looks like the guy, man. I mean, so he did his thing, but it was just it was out.
I got a stat for you for Darren Waller. He has the 42% target share over there with the Raiders. 42% of the passes are coming his way. You do the math. If you play fantasy football, you do the math. Like, usually a top guy is like a 22, 24%, 42 after 2 weeks. So they're looking his way early and often.
Every single play.
So you got Darren Waller right now, you're happy.
Yeah, so I took the L pretty bad. 86.1 to 160, you know. So it's 1 week, so hopefully I can bounce back next week. We'll see what happens, but I'll take that one on the chin, you know.
Yeah, that was a tough.
It is what it is. Tough loss, you know.
Yeah, the guy put up 43.
Need a bottle opener, bro. Like,
hey, we're gonna move on to my game. Where's my 4-leaf clover?
Yeah. You should have wore green, bro.
Yeah, man, I should have wore green.
I don't know how you like.
I got lucky. Green. I mean, I'm not gonna say. You see who was on his team? Saquon Barkley, and I only won by 3.5.
Like he has a solid team still.
Yeah.
I mean, minus that, get Paris out
You
of
know,
there.
so
but-
imagine if Saquon was out there, but like we said last week, that's fantasy. It happens.
Fantasy, yeah.
You know,
It's week
gonna
to
be-
week.
it's gonna
We
be
play
losses.
we play a
But-
season long game, man.
yeah. So in the 1 o'clocks, I thought I was gonna win. You know what I mean? Like Saquon went out, and also Paris Campbell went out for him too. So he had 2 players on this team get hurt. So after the 1 o'clocks, I'm looking the first drive for the Vikings because I have Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook, and I had the kicker for the Vikings. The first drive looked promising. Dalvin Cook was running the ball, Thielen was catching. After that, non-existent. They went ghost on me. Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen went ghost. But luckily, Dalvin Cook at the end of the game, he was able to score a touchdown. He got the 2-point conversion, so he put up 16. Kyler Murray. Let's talk about Kyler Murray up there at quarterback. That's
Looking
my
pretty
QB1.
good out there, man.
Yeah, he look like the
Looking
guy.
pretty
He looks
good.
like the guy out
He
there.
looks
So
like the guy, bro.
I'm happy with Kyler Murray. Like, without him this week, I'm done. Like, you know what I mean?
And then also the matchups moving forward with him. Like he has some
yeah, he has
good
great
matchups.
Kyler Murray has great
coming up.
matchups. So
Then
I had Miles Sanders also in those 1 o'clock games. He looked good. Back off injury. I'm happy for Miles Sanders. He gave me confidence in my team this week because I was scared. I'm like, I drafted Miles Sanders in the 2nd round. I was feeling confident during the draft, but week 1 he didn't play. But
And he had a fumble early,
Yeah.
but he bounced
Fumble
back.
early, so
He had
that
a fumble
scared me
early,
too.
But he bounced back. He bounced
he
back
bounced
after the
back
fumble.
strong. So I feel confident in Miles Sanders moving forward. Mark Andrews let me down. 1 catch, 29 yards for the top tight end, one of the top tight ends. Like he let me down this week, but I see him bouncing back. Just 1 week. I'm not tripping. What else? Let's talk about Tyler Lockett in the late game. I'm up 19 going into the late game. 19. This guy Tyler Lockett scores on the first drive for the Seahawks. He scores on the first drive. Had me scared, and then I made it through that. What else? What else I want to talk about in this matchup? Overall, this was a lucky matchup for me. I shouldn't have won, but I'm 2-0
But that's
moving
fantasy.
forward.
You'll take it. You'll take it. Yeah. I'm about to say, how many games was it like that last year?
Honestly, I shouldn't have won this matchup. Steven, I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. Saquon's hurt. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad. Like, should have won this week, man. But I pulled it out, and I'm 2-0. Looking forward to week 3.
Good shit, man. You're like one of the only, it's only 2 teams in our league that's 2-0. Like, so you definitely should feel good about that, man.
Yeah, very
definitely be glad that it's yours. Oh yeah, me. So
big bounce week for you. Big bounce back.
let's discuss.
Big bounce back week for you.
And I'm taking this one to heart. And the reason why I'm taking this one to heart is for more reasons than not. Everybody that plays in our league is they found out on Sunday night why I'm taking this to heart. So let's get this thing started. So I mean, at quarterback, I had A-Rod in there, against Detroit. I thought he was going to do better than that, but 18, I take it. It's solid. Russell Wilson, he did his thing on Sunday night. So I mean, he wins that matchup there.
He's playing like a man possessed right now.
Luckily, I mean, we're gonna say the RBs for last. But we go to Todd Gurley. I think Todd Gurley should have had a bigger game. Todd Gurley has a bigger. Everybody knows Todd Gurley should have been more involved in that game. I mean, but he's Todd Gurley's not looking like Todd Gurley right now. He's really touchdown dependent. But I got out of that game because he had Malcolm Brown in there, and I mean that saved me a lot. Like it did, because the Rams, you don't know who's going to be their running back week to week. I mean, as far as his wide receiver one, Julian Edelman on Sunday night, he did his thing. Julian Edelman, ladies and gentlemen, this man scared the hell out of me.
Hey, it's funny.
He almost went in for 6.
We was texting back and forth the whole
yes.
game.
He almost went in for 6.
My man caught like a 40-yard pass and got stopped at the 1-yard line.
Saved you.
And I was getting hella texts like, "You're
you
lucky
still
that's
would've
not a
won that
touchdown. You're lucky that's not a touchdown." But it wasn't a touchdown. And I mean, my man still finished with, what's that say? 21.9. Dang, did that update or something? I swore it was like 19. Yeah. But regardless, like, he had 21.9. He had a hell of a night. I mean, DJ Moore still, he had a lot of garbage time. And just like we talk about fantasy a lot, doesn't matter It doesn't matter if your team wins or loses. It matters if your player is getting the stats.
That's all that matters.
That last drive, like it was the DJ Moore show, he was eating. And he had Roby Anderson, somebody on the other side of DJ Moore, who was putting up numbers too. I mean, Robert Woods had a terrible game, but he salvaged his day because of the way that the Rams use him in their offense. I mean, he took an end around like 6 yards into the house. So, I mean, I'll definitely take that. As far as my tight ends, I wish I could show my bench right now, but bro, you don't want to see my bench, bro. If I had anybody else in there, Monday night would have been a foregone conclusion. I had tight end. But you know, I mean, I had Hunter Henry in there, and he still produced. Like he had like 11. He had like 11.3. I mean, he had Gronk in there, and EK. Let him go, just like you did. You do let him go. You let him go. So we're not gonna get into that.
You're a Patriots fan, but
you're a Patriots fan, but let him go. You gotta let him go.
Gotta move on from Gronk.
Gronk is not the guy no more.
I agree with that.
And a year off from football, as we know about Levy, does not do nobody any justice. So Nyheim Hines, I caught a break this week. And the reason why I'm going to say I caught a break, as everybody knows, because he started Nyheim Hines over Stephon Diggs. We're not going to go there because Stephon Diggs is actually number 2 in the league in receiving behind Calvin Ridley, and that is a fact. So we're not going to talk about that. He went off last week. He scored a touchdown. He had 150-plus yards. I would have lost if he had Stephon in there, but that's the way fantasy goes. And I had Michael Gallup, 2 catches, 58 yards. If you're watching this right now, Michael Gallup needs to be shipped. Because you don't know what's going on in that Dallas offense. I don't know who's catching the passes outside of Mark Cooper.
I feel like you can hold on to Gallup, man. I really think you can hold on to him.
It's
man.
better days for Gallup.
It's going to be better days.
What
starting this week against Seattle.
For?
Now I would say we're talking about
on some real.
Now Sean's gonna get into the buy low and stuff like that. Like that could be somebody you could buy low on right now.
Yes, because I would take any and everything for Michael Gallup.
You can buy low on Gallup.
What?
Jordan Howard?
I said Jordan Howard sent him.
You're not doing that.
I'm not doing that. But, okay, so we go to my defense. My defense put up we didn't put up 0, right? I can't even see. Yeah, they put up 0.
Zilch.
It's zilch. And I got lucky because the last play of the game they got a pick. They had -2, but I'm still starting him this week against Minnesota because I'm not a believer yet. He had New England's D against. He had New England's D. Okay, so so we got to discuss this. Try not to start your defense against one of your best players, because if your best player goes off 9 times out of 10, your defense is not going to go off. And that is a prime example of what happened against me. Like he had Russell Wilson against New England defense. Russell Wilson threw what, 5 TDs?
I mean, he threw a pick six early.
And that looked tear.
Yeah.
That looked tear. Because you did say, you don't need the pick 6 early. And the pick 6 happened. So, you did. You said the pick 6. He said if you get a pick 6, like, you might be done. And like, the first couple plays of the game, they got a pick 6. But, I mean, regardless, all in all, my kicker did his thing. Cool in that Falcons offense. I feel like they're always going to be moving the ball. You got me 13. Yeah, my kicker.
13 in this league?
That's good. That's real good.
In our league. With the old rules, that's like probably like 19, 20. Mm-hmm. But I'll take 13. Now, the reason why we're saving the running backs for last is, one, because Christian McCaffrey got hurt. And this is a matchup between who I should have grabbed at 1 and who I didn't grab at 1. Or who I did grab at 1. I'm mistaken. So everybody telling me to grab Christian McCaffrey at 1. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a firm believer, as both of my men know right here. I do not like really good players on really bad teams. And the Carolina Panthers and the Carolina Panthers, except for Le'Veon Bell. I will save for Levy. But I don't like really good players on really bad teams, and there's no way that Christian McCaffrey could have repeated everything he did last year with that workload. Like, it was something was bound to happen, and I hate to say it, but that something was bound to happen this week. Now, going into Monday night, I was down 20 points, and I still had Alvin Kamara left, and I was playing this young man's kicker. So
this young man,
a lot of like in our fantasy, a lot of trash talking gets exchanged all the time.
Trash talking was there.
Another thing I'm gonna tell you guys is this: I got the win. Alvin Kamara did his thing. He's my best player on my team. Like, he was the last player to play. Like, his potential, the best player on your team's potential should always be 30 plus. It should like the potential. That doesn't mean that he's guaranteed to put up 30 plus, but just like I'm actually going to quote Matthew Berry, a Dennis and Jack person. Not all superheroes wear capes, and my man's not wearing a cape, but my man put up 33.9, and there was a lot of trash talking going on prior to what happened. So I mean, I went out on a limb and I drafted Alvin Kamara 1 because I like the fit. I like how the Saints use him, and I thought last year was kind of like a fluke year, but I really like really good players on really good teams. They always succeed. Just like, I mean, we could take Zeke. Zeke's he's on a really good team behind the best offensive line, arguably in the NFL, and he's proven it. Like, he's the most most durable player in the NFL. Like Sean Payton, even without Michael Thomas out there, and they're keying on Alvin Kamara, and he still puts up 33 points. Like, that's amazing. And I got the win on Monday night. So my message is this: don't toast to your victory if somebody is left to play. Do not.
I tell these guys all the time.
He preaches
he does.
He preaches to us all the time.
It's not over until that clock says 0-0.
Until
all it
nobody
takes
else
is one
playing.
play in fantasy football.
That's
Like, you be
all it
like,
takes.
oh, I'm down. I'm up 10. It's only this amount of. It takes one play to get 10. That's all it takes.
That's a
So don't
30,
ever think you
that's a
got
30,
the win.
That's a
Yeah,
30-yard touchdown.
Shout
That's
out
10 points.
to EK though, man. Shout out.
Shout out EK.
I'm gonna shout out EK. I'm gonna shout out EK because EK know that it's always gonna be love, and it's always a friendly competition. Like, it's kind of personal between me and EK. Like, in a way. It's kind of personal. Like, that's my man. But when it comes to this, it's like, bruh, you haven't beat me. You won't beat me. I don't play you again no more this year. You won't beat me. You won't beat me. I'm a better GM. I do want you to succeed. I do want you to succeed as much as I want everybody else in the league to succeed. But it's not going to happen that way. All I gotta say about that is, CH, you're next.
Hey,
CH, you're next. Yeah, not
they
at
make
my
some
expense. You're not
trades
getting
out
no
there,
dub.
man. I'm gonna let you know if you're watching. You're not looking too good out there, champ.
Need to make some moves, son. Need to make some moves.
Come on, champ. You know what you gotta do. Send me your team.
All right, we can
me
get
your
into
team.
the
Go ahead.
we can get into the waivers. The waivers, we'll go over that briefly. Because the waivers already went through, but people that you should have went after in the waivers.
Hold on. I got a question for you, John. Who is the number one waiver pickup to you, in your opinion? This was.
I would say, if I'm going long term, I might have to go ahead and put Devontae Freeman. I mean, Mike Davis, a lot of people are going after him, but that's going to be a temporary fix because McCaffrey's coming back. I want to say that McCaffrey probably be back, I want to say 3 weeks, maybe a month. So if you get Mike Davis, just know that you only going to have him for about 3 or 4 weeks. And if he does anything in those weeks, I mean, you might have 1 or 2 off weeks in there from Mike Davis. But Devontae Freeman, he got to get acclimated to the offense. I mean, I don't expect him to come right in and be the guy right away. But I think over time, he's going to take over the workload, and he will be the guy. So if I was looking for somebody long-term throughout the rest of the season, Devontae would be the guy for me personally. But I do like Jerick McKinnon also. He's going to be the guy for the next couple of weeks, I think. With San Francisco's offense, with their running game, you don't know. I mean, we mentioned Wilson as well. But I think Jerick McKinnon is going to be the guy in that role, even with Mostert and Coleman in there. He was still getting his work. He was still doing his thing. So
they was using.
I would lean Jerick McKinnon. But first will be Devontae, Mike Davis, Jerick McKinnon, and then after that, it's iffy, man. After that, the number 4 person, I could say Corey Davis, possibly.
No, I think that the number 1 waiver wire you don't even have on the list.
Who would that be?
It'd be Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith?
It'd be Jonnu Smith. I think that Jonnu Smith, who's owned in like 47% of leagues, you sent the list earlier, but
he is on the list.
Jonnu's on. He's not up there.
2 pages. Yeah, John on the list.
He's on the list.
Yeah,
he's on the list.
So, I mean, everybody knows how I feel about Jonnu Smith, but he's owned in 38.4% of leagues. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonnu Smith is the number 1 tight end in fantasy.
He's a rose. He's a rose.
Right now, Jonnu Smith is the number 1 tight end in fantasy.
Are you being a little bit biased there?
And I mean, I'm not being biased because I picked him up. I can honestly say that
he's ranked number 1.
He's ranked number 1 in half PPR. In half
Ladies
PPR.
and gentlemen, if you
That's
listening
interesting
out
news
there,
to me. But
John still out there.
Half PPR. Half
Pick him
PPR.
out.
He's involved. I mean, the first play of the game. Here's the thing about tight ends. Tight ends are usually like you take what you can get. They design plays outside of like Darren Waller. Darren Waller, I feel like is going to take over this spot because what I saw on Monday night was ridiculous.
Still Mark
Like,
Andrews. Don't worry. He had a bad game.
42% target share. Come on, son.
42% is ridiculous.
They're going to Darren.
Can't argue that.
I'm
Can't
saying
argue that.
42%
Can't
target
argue that.
share.
they design plays for this young man, dog. They design plays for Jonnu Smith. Like
They have no
people
one
don't.
else.
A lot of people don't design plays for their tight end outside of like the top tier guys like Kelsey and them. They're gonna get it. I mean, they're involved in high octane offenses. He's playing with Tannehill. No Delaney Walkers, like we said. I mean, he's producing the way that a lot of people before the year was like, hey, watch out for Jonnu Smith because a lot of people don't know who he is. And if you see who he is, just like I was talking to Mac, like if you see who he is, like just look at how this guy he looks like a wideout out there playing tight end. Like he really does. Like he's making moves. He's fast. Yards. He leads the NFL for tight ends in yards after the catch. Like
I agree
he has
with
3 touchdowns through 2 games. He's involved in that offense. AJ Brown is hurt right now. Corey Davis is a little spotty. I like Corey Davis season long though. I do, only because AJ Brown's a little bit banged up right now. But overall in that offense, they run heavy, so a lot of play action passes. John who can sneak out, and he has a ton of red zone targets right now too. I don't know the exact number, but he has a lot of red zone.
Playing with Ryan Tannehill,
so I would definitely give you that.
he's always been the guy that likes to throw to the tight ends.
Yeah,
So-
dink and dunk type player, but he'll go deep. But it's a
So
dink
the
and dunk.
Titans,
type.
the Titans are a run team, and they throw to the tight end. So if you,
I'll take that back. I can't put Corey Davis over Jonnu. No, I can't. So I definitely would put him over Corey Davis in that offense. Yes, he's gonna be well targeted. He's gonna be highly targeted in that offense. And the other guys, man, there's some guys on here that may still be in free agency, man. Probably not in our league, but
Yeah,
some leagues,
but there's some leagues you got some guys that are still available, man.
yeah, like Valdez, Marquez.
Yeah, MVS.
I even think in our league he might still be.
Yeah, I think
a
he's
free
still
agent,
he's still
but he's
available.
involved.
keep those guys
Like-
on the waiver wire.
Yeah. I mean, nah, I'm not saying yeah.
Keep him on the waiver wire.
But nah, bro, because he's involved. Like Devontae's banged up right now too.
Unless you play in the
A-Rod
16
got to
team
throw to
league,
somebody.
if you don't play in the 16 team league, those guys should not be on your team. I'm gonna let you know that now.
Who are those guys?
Stay away from the Packers wide receivers unless it's
They're also-
Devontae Adams. Stay away because they'll have one good week and then 8 bad weeks in a row. Like, stay away from those guys. I never like. I don't know why the Packers didn't draft a wide receiver this year. I don't know. They took a quarterback. I don't know why they didn't take T. Higgins or Justin Jefferson. But who am I?
Okay, but okay. So you sent me today. Who's the number 1 rated player through Pro Football Focus? Highest graded player. Highest graded player through 2 weeks for Pro Football Focus. Who was
Aaron
it?
Rodgers.
And Devontae Adams had 36 yards receiving last game. So who's he throwing to? He's throwing to one of those guys.
No, he's not. I mean, yeah.
The tight end? Who's the tight end?
Listen, any given week, he might be throwing this to those guys, right? But are you risking that? Are you taking that chance that he's going to throw it to those guys?
Or
Look at Aaron Jones.
Or it's gonna be the Aaron Jones show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those guys didn't,
But-
they did okay, but they didn't do anything eye-popping where I'm like, damn, I need to pick them up this week.
Waiver wire, we're not looking for guys to fill out your roster. You're looking for like bye week fill-ins.
No, I mean waiver wires. I mean,
Like, you should have.
if you're at the
other
top
guys
of the
up
waiver
there.
wire, you're
100%.
looking at the guy that can fill that may be coming in to start for you. If you're using the number 1 waiver wire, I'm not looking for a guy that might be a bye week fill-in. No, I'm looking for a guy. Right or wrong? Number 1 waiver wire, are you looking for a bye week fill-in? No.
Yep,
Depends.
I agree.
Don't.
If you got that number 1 waiver
Kinda
wire
depends.
priority, make sure that it's a player that, like I said, for me, I had the number 1 waiver priority going into this week, and a lot of people were talking Mike Davis, but like I said earlier, like it's just, is he going to be there for the long term? Should I waste a waiver priority?
I mean,
Long
I'm
term.
kind of like I should have scooped Mike Davis.
But then,
I love him.
also you gotta look at your roster. Like now, if you're a McCaffrey owner, then yeah, it makes more sense. But like for me, I have 2 guys that 3 guys that I believe in at running back with David Johnson, Clyde, and Drake. So I was like, should I waste a waiver priority in that? Is he really am I gonna start him? Like, so it all depends on what your team is looking like at the end of the day. But Yeah, man. But waiver priority, man. You make sure that it's somebody that is going to be there. It's moving into that role for the long haul. Like,
And if D-Jack is still on there, you need to scoop him because Jalen Rager's out 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
I had to scoop. I dropped D-Jack last week, and I scooped him back this week. I had to. I'm like, damn. Nobody scooped him? I'll take him. Come back, D-Jack.
You scooped him before the news broke, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back, D-Jack.
That was a good move.
Come back home.
Great move.
Start him. Start him over Landry.
All right, here we got the players that you want to buy low and the players that you want to sell high. So my number one buy low is Adam Thielen. If you watch football, you see what the Minnesota Vikings offense is doing. Absolutely nothing. But I think that they're going to pick it up. I think Kirk Cousins will get it going. And I think Adam Thielen, he had a good week 1, but week 2, it was god-awful. So if you can buy Adam Thielen low, I think you try to do that. You should try to do that now. Also, number 2, Leonard Fournette. He had a good game this week. I think he had 103 yards in the touchdown.
And also, Ronald Jones fumbling. That helped this case even more.
That just makes it better for Leonard Fournette. So if you can get Leonard Fournette.
It's just a matter of time before he takes it over.
What do I think you can get Leonard Fournette for? Nah. If you trade it depends. Trading all depends on what people need.
What would you ship for Leonard Fournette?
A wide receiver 2.
Who's going to give you? Did you see what he did last week?
Come on, that's 1 week though, bro. Like it's needy. Look. If somebody has Leonard Fournette on the bench, this is what I'm saying.
Like 100 plus 2. He had 100 rushing yards.
If somebody has Leonard Fournette on the bench, but they also already have running backs, but they have no receivers.
That's true.
They have no receivers. You might be able to ship a receiver over there, like a wide receiver 2. Give me an example of wide receiver 2 you think you can ship for Leonard Fournette.
What, Marvin Jones?
No.
Come on.
I'll give up Marvin Jones for Leonard Fournette.
Like a Robert Woods.
Yeah, I was about to say
or even like a Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh. Like, he's up and coming. You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't think somebody will give you Leonard Fournette.
I feel like Leonard Fournette.
It depends.
It depends on what their team looks like.
I feel like Leonard Fournette could. I feel like he
have to identify.
I feel like he's more on the sell high right now because he's coming off that big game. Somebody might reach for him.
That's true.
You could get a Robert Woods.
I feel like you can get a lot for
that's a nice little move right there. But I mean,
like a 40-yard carry.
But I mean, no. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, going forward, he's the guy. So if somebody out there is still like, just like he said, if somebody stacked that running back, then yeah, and it's a different situation because in drafts he wasn't on the team. People got to remember that when we did drafts, like Leonard Fournette was a free agent. He signed with them like a week, or hopefully you guys drafted by then. But when we did our draft, Leonard Fournette was a free agent, and I mean the person that has EK has Leonard Fournette, yeah. EK, I mean he couldn't start him last week because he didn't know, but if he did, like I lose. Like he had a huge game. Trust me, he's plugging him in this week.
A lot of people don't believe
that's
in
the type of
Leonard
person
Fournette
that you sell high, but because you don't know after next week. I mean, if he
but
has
a lot of people don't believe. I got him on the buy low because I believe that he's gonna do good for the rest of the season.
I love Allen Robinson and Joe Mixon and Kenny Galladay.
Yeah.
They haven't even Kenny Galladay hasn't even played yet. So
exactly.
and
number 3 on the list is Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
From the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a number. If you don't know who he is, he's a number 2 wide receiver for Pittsburgh.
If you don't know who he is, you shouldn't be playing
I was
fantasy.
high on this guy coming into the season.
That's real.
He didn't have a good week 1, but week 2 he scored a touchdown. It wasn't the best week, but if you can buy low on him, I would do so now. Try to get him now before he gets hot, because he's going to get hot. As you know, Pittsburgh's number 2 wide receivers always pan out. Like
Juju.
Look at Juju. He was a number 2. Like
Now he's the guy.
Yeah, now he's the guy. So I believe in Deontay Johnson. Number 4 on the list.
I think it was A-Rob.
A-Rob. Allen Robinson. He has not been great through the first 2 weeks.
But this man is a baller.
But he's a baller.
Yes.
Mitch Trubisky looks better.
Yeah.
He looks better this year.
And they going against Atlanta this week. So
they going against Atlanta. So
this is the week you need to get him now.
Week. So if you could try to get Allen Robinson right now, try to get him. Because, like I said, buy low means that the player has not been performing like he's supposed to, but I see better weeks for Allen Robinson.
And this would be the week to get him because I strongly believe that going into playing Atlanta this week, he's gonna have a big game, and after that, you're not gonna be able to pick him up. Like, so this would be the week to make that move if you're gonna make that move.
Number
This
5.
is 2 touchdown.
Yeah, this is the game.
Yeah.
Number 5 on the list, Joe Mixon. I don't know what sense he's doing.
What the hell is going on with Joe?
I don't know what sense he's doing. They threw the ball 61 times in week 2 with Joe Burrow. 61 times. Like, and Joe Mixon, when I seen him, he was running it. He was breaking tackles and everything, like making people miss. Yeah. But they went away from him. I don't know why. 61 passes for a rookie, that's way too much for me. I wouldn't do that if I was a coach. I would try to run the ball more, get Joe Mixon established.
They're trying to get back in the game. It's the number 1 pick.
Joe Mixon owners might be panicking, like, oh, Joe's not the guy, So if you can try to go get Joe Mixon, I would do that also. So try to do that. If you got the depth, somebody need a wide receiver, you got a lot of wide receivers or anything.
I like to sell high.
Try to get him.
I like to sell high too.
Kenny Galladay,
we gonna talk
number
about
6.
Stephon Diggs.
Kenny Galladay. He hasn't played. Kenny Galladay hasn't played a game yet. So his managers, if they're 0-2, Kenny Galladay's managers, like owners, he's 0-2, they might be trying to ship him. They're like, damn, he's not durable, So you can try to buy him low also. I like Kenny Galladay. Once he gets back, I feel like he's going to get right back in form. So if you can get Kenny Galladay today, try to get him. All right, we're going to move on to the sell high players. Number 1. James Conner.
I like that one.
I do not trust James Conner. He had a good week last week.
Who they play?
Sell high on him immediately.
But who they play though? Who do they play?
They played Denver. Okay.
That's a good defense.
That's a solid defense, yes. I mean, we went back and forth with Denver earlier. But James Conner, man, he went for 6. He had 16 rushes, 106 rushing yards, and a touchdown. This is the week to sell high on him because we don't. As far as him, like as far as his productivity, I can't argue that too much. When he's out there, he's productive. But it's the injuries for me. I just can't. I just don't trust that. Last year I had him, man. It's just the injury. You just can't stay on the field.
You can't stay on the field now.
So right now, this is the week to really try to trade him for a valuable piece, and try to get. You can probably get a solid wide receiver too. For James Conner, so this would be the week. I just don't trust him. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. So this would be the week right here, man. In our league, he put up 19.1 fantasy points. So that was solid. Versus a solid defense in Denver. So this would be the week to do that.
I'm against that.
So you want to hold? You say hold?
I would say hold him, and because James Conner's next games are against Houston, Tennessee, and Philly. So Houston. Y'all seen what Clyde Edwards-Helaire did?
Yeah. Who they play last week?
You seen what Clyde Edwards-Helaire did? Denver. Derrick Henry had 93 rushing yards or so? Against Denver, he had 106 on 16 carries. So,
no, I'm saying who did?
Oh, last week? They played New York.
Who did Houston play?
What do you mean?
They kind of shut the run down against the number 1 rush team in the league.
But they didn't shut it down against...
they fixed it. They fixed it.
KC?
They fixed it. I'm not just starting.
And they got Houston at home. Tennessee, Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon had a solid showing against Tennessee. He got some good matchups coming up. Like even Philadelphia. Like,
is he going to be on the field to do those?
Peyton Barber scored twice. Daryl Henderson scored last week.
The thing when I say sell high, what I mean is I don't believe James Conner's going to be down there when you really need him. In the nitty-gritty of fantasy season, is James Conner going to be the guy for you? I don't believe so. Possibly. I don't care about these next 2-3 weeks. I'm talking about down the road. Like when you sell a player, you're selling them for the long term. You're not selling them for right now. You're selling them I don't think he's going to be there when I really need him. I mean, so I can get this guy right now.
For me, I'm not arguing the productivity. If he's out there, I think he's going to do well. But for me, it's just trusting that he's going to be out there. It's just hard. It's just hard for me to do that, man. Do I think he's going to make it through the rest of this season without getting hurt? It's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say that. It's just too iffy for me, man. I would try to get out of that situation immediately. But if he's out there for those matchups, those are really good matchups where if he's out there, he's going to do good work.
I like James.
He's going to do good work, but you can also right now sell high on him and and like if you're weak at receiver, like if I had James Conner, like I need a receiver, like I'd probably be looking at shipping him right now because I just don't trust that he's going to be there. But
that goes back to like what he said, like in regards to what you have on your team, and, like your flex plays and things like that. But I mean, overall, I like
trading. All
but
depends on who you have.
I understand
Because right now the team I have no trade value, zero.
Me neither, though.
Like I have zero trade value.
Trying to shit
So
players.
I just hope the players that I have in there just continue to stay healthy. Like, please.
all right,
My trade value is low.
What you think about Steph though?
Stephon Diggs coming in number 2 as a sell high. Like, I don't know. Stephon Diggs, he looked good last week. Looked really good.
Does he look better than Ty? Like, does he?
Looks really good.
Does he?
It's still early.
Does he? Does he?
It's still
Like,
early.
come on, man.
It's still early.
you had to throw my
early.
man Ty in there, man. Damn,
It's just because
He looks better than T.Y. He looks better than
To
T.Y.
those of you who have been watching,
he is. I can't even front on that. I can't even
we're
front
done
on
with
that.
then.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Credit is given when credit is due.
But
Credit
it's
is
still
given when
week
credit
2.
All
is
right,
due.
now it's on the sell high. This would be a
Yeah, bro. Oh yeah.
Hold on, but
he's second in the league in receiving.
Let's
yards,
keep
man.
it with the-
And
let's
it
keep
could
it with
be
the
off of
sell-
one game. He played the Dolphins, but
let's
it
keep
still
it with
could
the
be
sell
based off
high.
one game,
Hey,
but yeah,
Stephon Diggs.
eight receptions, 153 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. That's a big game.
That's solid.
That's a big
That's a
game.
big game.
Do you think throughout the season that Stephon's going to keep those type of numbers up?
No, I don't think he's
Playing
going
with
to
Josh Allen?
yards per game. Talk about Josh Allen.
What? Josh Allen, he looks good through 2 weeks.
He looks really good. He looked like he got a lot better.
Yeah.
So why don't you think that he can get? You don't think he evolved as a passer?
No, I think
he got better as a quarterback.
Right now, the way Stephon Diggs is playing, you can go out and sell him high. And if you need a running back too, or anybody, I would sell Stephon Diggs for a running back too.
That's true.
That's all
That's
I'm saying.
true.
Like,
That's true.
I don't think
That's
Stephon.
very true.
He's a good player. He's going to have good weeks.
I think like 80
I don't-
yards per game. For
I
Stephon
don't.
Diggs.
Definitely not.
You don't think 80 yards per game?
68. But I don't think Stephon Diggs is going to be able to keep up that productivity
80 yards per game.
throughout the
80,
season.
80 yards. 68?
68.
All right, now
Their offense is wide open.
now Josh Allen, man, he did throw for 417 yards. I mean,
Who did play?
he
Miami.
played Miami.
Okay,
but
thank
What
you.
about last week?
Thank you.
last week he went
Exactly.
for 312
Against who?
against New York, the Jets. The Jets.
Exactly.
The Jets.
They're
All right,
playing
who
weak
they got next
defenses.
They got the Rams next. So
They got the Rams next. So
Look,
we'll see.
look. As you can see,
we'll
Stephon
see.
Diggs and the Buffalo Bills have been playing weak defenses. So, with that said, this is when you sell him. When he already got those games out the way, he balled out. Go get you a running back too. Or even
I mean,
like
this is the time
try
to
to
sell-
package him.
depending on what your team
You
looks like, this is
package
the
him
time
and
to
try to
sell
maybe
Stephon
try to go
Diggs,
get
but
Christian McCaffrey. If
I
you're
like
2-0 and you got Stephon Diggs on your team and another running back that you can trade, package him. Try to go get Christian McCaffrey. He's out at least 3 weeks, but he'll be back, and when he comes back, he's going to be right back in the form. So if you can go package Stephon for somebody, a running back 2 or a running back 1, I would do it now.
You ain't gonna get RB1 return on that, but
No, I'm saying package him.
true. But nah.
Depends on who's a part of that deal.
I mean, it
Depends on
depends.
who's a part of that deal.
My
All right,
RB1
number
is
3,
RB1.
Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb had a great week this week, but you saw what Kareem Hunt did when he came in the game. Nothing changed. They both look good, so that scares me because anything happens to Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt gets his chance. That can be it for Nick Chubb. So a guy like that, I would try to sell him now. Like after that game he had, what he had 24 carries,
Yeah.
a buck something,
Like a buck, 100 something
2
yards.
touchdowns.
100 something yards, 2 touchdowns.
This is when you try to get rid of Nick Chubb
He had a good week.
because
And they was getting Cincy too, so you should
like
probably.
he's on he doesn't get the passing work. Kareem Hunt gets that.
Mhm.
Like
He's
so
competing with
he's
another
basically
good back.
he's on a short leash.
compete with another
He's on a
back.
short leash. I don't like Kareem Hunt behind him. 'Cause Kareem Hunt is starting on about 25 teams in the NFL. Like he's a starter.
That's very true.
Kareem Hunt is a starter.
Kareem Hunt is a dog.
So having him behind Nick Chubb, any tweak of an ankle or anything, Kareem Hunt comes in there and balls out, that could be it.
I agree.
So I would try to get rid of Nick Chubb if you can. It's not going to be easy to get rid of a guy like Chubb, like, because what do you want for him? You want a wide receiver 1? What do you want for him? So It all depends on what you're trying to get.
Then also with Chubb coming up, the next couple weeks. I mean, he has our Washington football team coming up next, but we played a run pretty well.
We played the run good.
So it might be a Kareem Hunt type of game.
You know, and then me Dallas, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh.
Oh, he ain't running on Indy.
So he got Pittsburgh, and so it's so moving forward.
He ain't running on Indy.
Being biased, but yeah. But he has some tough matchups
man.
coming up. So I mean, it might be a nice little move to go ahead and sell high on him. You can get a good player, in exchange for him, man. But
all right, yeah,
start 'em,
we're
sit 'em.
gonna go to the stardoms. We're going to the stardoms. I'm doing. My stardoms is Dak versus Seattle. I mean, if y'all watched that Monday night game, y'all seen what Cam did against Seattle. Then, is Dallas at home during this game? I mean, I don't even care if they're on the road. Like
They're on the road. They're on the road this week.
Cam
Dallas
on the road.
this week.
Cam on the road put up MVP numbers against this defense, and he has way less weapons than Dak, and he doesn't have nowhere near the running back that Zeke is to open everything up in the passing game. So if Jamal Adams is playing in the box, and you got CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup out there 1-on-1, then I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Like, I mean, it's gonna be a tough road out there. I would definitely, if you debating on like, starting Dak. I mean, everybody's starting Dak, but if you debating on starting Dak, then I would say like he's gonna have a huge game. He can finish with QB1 numbers. All right, Jerick McKinnon. I like Jerick McKinnon against New York only because the other two backs that he's really competing with are out for the next like 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, I got an update yesterday that Tevin Coleman is out for like 3 weeks, and I mean, I'm not like about 4 weeks. But the reason why, if you got Tevin Coleman, you can drop him. And the reason why you can drop him is because when Raheem Mostert went out, Tevin Coleman had 14 carries for 12 yards.
That is insane.
That is trifling.
Who are they playing?
That is trifling.
Who are they playing?
They were playing the Jets.
The
Jets.
They were playing the Jets. That's trifling.
It's not like you playing Pittsburgh,
the Jets, bro. It was terrible. It was terrible. So Jerick McKinnon against the New York Giants. I mean, he's coming off of 2 ACL surgery, but he has 2 touchdowns in 2 games. Like, he looks pretty good. He converted a third and 30 last week. A lot of people don't know that. 3rd and 31 last week. My man ran for a 55-yard carry. He looks really when he gets the ball, he looks really efficient. I could be like, you guys can say I'm being a little bit biased there if you're in my league, because he's definitely going to be in this week, but it is what it is. Like, I'm starting Jerick McKinnon. He got a good O-line. Trent Williams from my beloved Washington football team is looking like an all-pro left tackle out there. He's pancaking everything in his way.
And then McKinnon, like we talk about opportunities. Really McKinnon, like, all right, this past week he only had 3 carries, but he went for 77 yards and a touch.
With those 3 carries.
So this week coming up, he's going to get way more carries. I can see him definitely getting close to 13 carries.
Yeah.
13,
exactly,
15 carries.
Thank you.
Imagine
right there in the 13, 15 range. Yeah. He's going to be productive.
So imagine he gets those, but he had 3 for 77.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it, just like we'll go back to really good teams.
And the matchup's very good too.
Kyle Shanahan is really good at scheming up ways to get his running backs in space and getting his running back the ball. So I think he's going to do well. Adam Thielen versus Tennessee. Tennessee's been I hate to say this because this is my defense, but Tennessee's been getting ate up. Tennessee's defense has been getting ate. And for me, what I'm thinking is that I'm thinking that the game flow is going to allow Adam Thielen to have a big game, because I don't think that the Minnesota Vikings defense can stop a nosebleed, honestly. Like, they're terrible. Like, the Minnesota defense is not who we thought they was going to be coming to the year, and that's because they're missing their best pass rusher, Daniil Hunter. I mean, they got Yannick Ngakoue out there, but it's not what it's supposed to be. Like, it really is not what it's supposed to be. The next thing I would say Mike Gesicki. So if you're thinking about starting Mike Gesicki, this is the week to do it. Now, Jacksonville has been giving up points to the tight end at a alarming rate. So last week, last week Jacksonville played my man Jonnu Smith, and Jonnu Smith had 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. The week before that, Jacksonville played. Oh my goodness, I'm getting stumped. Jacksonville played week 1.
They played the Colts.
They played the Colts week 1. Yeah, their defense is trash. I mean, I'm not even going to say that Mo Ali Cox had a good game or Jack Doyle. I don't even know if Jack Doyle was out there, but their defense as a whole is trash. And a lot of the passing game for Miami goes through their tight end, because Devontae Parker is a little bit banged up. Preston Williams don't look like Preston Williams from last year, but he's solid. But I think that Mike Gesicki has a really good game. Like, Mike Gesicki is a solid player. And I'm going to go to I'll start San Francisco 49ers defense versus New York Giants. The obvious because there's no Saquon Barkley out there. There's no Sterling Shepard. It's Sterling Shepard, right?
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard's out. There's no Saquon Barkley. Like, if I got to worry about Devontae Freeman coming in off of 1 week of learning the offense, then I think that this is the week. If you have Devontae Freeman, wait. I'm not saying drop him, but just wait. Like, this is not the week. This is not the week. I'm not saying. I'm not saying like
Don't start him.
Don't start him, but don't start him against this defense, because even though they lost two like other best players, Solomon Thomas and Nick Bosa, they both on IR. Like, they both messed up their knees. Richard Sherman's not gonna be out there. Yeah, they did. They lost a ton of people, but their defense is still their defense. Their defense is still their defense. They still had to adjust to like 14 points, and they got a touchdown in like garbage time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, San Francisco versus a Saquon-less New York Giants team, I would definitely roll them out there and start them. That's actually like my number one defense in my rankings right there. San Francisco.
Who will be the start of the week?
The start of the week, it's gonna be pretty tough. The start of the week, I would say,
I might go Dak.
Probably Dak.
I'll
probably Dak, but I also say Adam Thielen. And the reason why I would say Adam Thielen is because I think game flow. I don't think the Minnesota defense is going to be able to stop the Tennessee Titans offense. They're too efficient. Like, it's so efficient. I feel like Tennessee's offense, a lot of people are sleeping to where like they could potentially, the way that they run their pass run balance, like, it's so like you don't know what's coming. And they got Derrick Henry, so if they run the ball, like it's potentially 4, 5. Like, it's a first down every other play, and then they can dump it off to Jonnu. They can throw it deep to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown comes back this week, and Minnesota's corners are garb. Like, we don't know who's playing out there. Outside of Harrison Smith, I feel sorry for you, son. But Harrison Smith is out there. I mean, he's holding it down, but it's only but so much he can do. So I would say Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen is in for a really big game. Dak Prescott saved a lot of people by running for like 3 touchdowns last
my
week.
quarterback start of the week this week. Quarterback start of the week. Ryan Tannehill versus Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, versus Minnesota.
Oh, versus they play Minnesota.
Yeah.
Ryan
That's a
Tannehill
great
versus Minnesota.
That's a great matchup.
You have Ryan Tannehill on your team.
Yeah, like, it was a lot. It was a toughie between like putting Dak there or even Gardner Minshew versus Miami.
Dak definitely. Seattle's been giving up.
Yeah,
hella yardage.
Like Seattle was. They're terrible. Yeah. We're gonna move on to the sit-ems. We're gonna move on to the sit-ems. I got Jared Goff versus Buffalo. Jared Goff didn't look too good last week against Philly. I mean, outside of the 3 touchdowns he threw to Tyler Higbee, he really didn't look too efficient last week.
And they going up against a solid.
If you got another option, yeah, because their best wide receiver to me is Robert Woods, but he's gonna see a lot of Tre'Davious White out there, and I mean that just downgrades their passing game as a whole. And I would say to downgrade Deshaun Watson versus Pittsburgh. Don't temper your expectations. When I say downgrade,
I see two guys on here that's on my team. So when I say downgrade, you got me a little bit worried, man.
And my
players up there too.
My players up there too.
I ain't gonna lie, John. So you should be worried. You
should be worried. You definitely should.
I'm worried. I'm worried, man. I'm worried.
Temper your expectations for Deshaun Watson.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with the downgrade because
I'm not gonna say sit him because. No. If he's your quarterback, you have to roll him out there. Like, he can have a fantastic game. Yeah, you don't know what is going to happen, but
let me tell the folks.
But if he doesn't,
when you say downgraded player, that means like it's probably no way you can sit this player, but just don't expect much from this player. Like, don't expect like a big game.
Yeah,
but you have to start him.
Yeah,
exactly. When he says downgrade, that's what he means. Like,
that's exactly
you're going to start this guy, but it might not be good.
It might not be the week, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm gonna even go Todd Gurley. Everybody knows that. I mean, at least in our league, that I have Todd Gurley as my RB2. Like, he's locked and loaded. Like, I have to start this guy. But if I had another option, no, not against Chicago. I mean, he had 14 carries to 60 yards last week. He's really, from what I've seen through the first 2 weeks of the season, he's really touchdown dependent, and it's kind of irritating if you have him on your team, but it is what it is. Like, I mean, he's capped out at 14 carries. He had 5 targets in the first week. He had no targets in the passing game, so he's not getting
even when he got
no PPR points.
Even when they got to the when he had the carries, when he got last week, he had 21 carries. Like, that should be good enough to have a solid game.
Exactly.
But he only gave you 61 yards.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Todd,
like
he had 21 last week.
He had 21 carries. 21
Yeah,
carries.
21 carries. Yeah, 21 carries last week. 21 carries, 60 yards. Come on, that's not good. Dallas.
That worries me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
worries
how. I mean, Dallas done. Malcolm Brown and them ran all over them, so you can take it for what it is. Another player that I would downgrade this week is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is 100% a guy that you're starting. Like a lot of everybody out there watching, you drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which your top pick.
Another one of my guys.
But versus Baltimore's defense, you have to temper your expectations. Like we can go back to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Like they both put up solid numbers, but not the numbers that you wanted them to put up against that defense. And I mean, they're going to be keying in on this young man. Like this young man is playing a really good defense this week. So I'm saying downgrade him. Like you're going to expect him to. It's my RB1, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Da da da. I'm not saying that he's not going to have a big game. I'm saying if he doesn't, it's expected that he doesn't.
And
against that defense.
worried. I'm just real worried with Clyde. I mean, last week he only had 10 carries.
The Chargers defense is good.
10 carries.
But
I saw.
the Chargers defense is good.
And I don't know what happened, but no.
Better days are ahead for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
It will be. It will be.
This
But
is a wait and see approach.
I seen a lot of Darwin Thompson out there this practice. Like
The
I
game
don't know
flow
what
depicted
Andy
that
Reid-
though. They were down like the whole game until they got to OT.
yeah.
We was watching the game. Like trust me,
We
dog.
were.
Like there's a lot. Clyde Edwards-Helaire potentially could have a good game. I'm just saying downgrade him this week because they playing them. Like okay, so I'll go to my wideout, Kenny Golladay. So if Kenny Golladay plays this week, sit Kenny Golladay for this week because he's going to see Patrick Peterson on every single play, and Patrick Peterson is locking up everything. Everything.
Hey,
like Patrick Peterson
last year, Pat
is
Pete,
the guy.
I was like, damn, is Pat Pete done? But
No, Pat
think
Pete is
he's
locking
back.
up. Pat Pete is locking up. I mean,
He's back.
granted, last week I don't know if he followed Terry McLaurin or not. Terry McLaurin had 125 yards receiving.
But he got
a lot of it in garbage time, and that's what fantasy's about. And I don't see the Detroit Lions being completely out of the game, but I do see Patrick Peterson lining up in front of Kenny Golladay on almost every single play. Another player that I would say downgraded DJ Moore because he's going to see a lot. We'll go back to the Chargers defense. The Chargers defense has two of arguably the top corners in the NFL, Casey Hayward and is Jason Verrett. Chris Harris Jr. Chris Harris Jr. and Casey Hayward. So I mean, DJ Moore. Hopefully this is incorrect because he's on my team and he's my wide receiver 1, but I think that DJ Moore, like I'm tempering my expectations for him. I'm hoping that he gets me to 10. I'm hoping he gets me to 11 in a PPR league. But at the end of the day, I mean, I can understand if he gets held in check because, you know what I'm saying, that's the way the game's going to go. Hopefully they're down big because there's no Christian McCaffrey out there. But there's another player that I have to start, but I'm tempering my expectations. Sit-ems, we're going to go to Ron Gronkowski. We touched on that earlier today. I would say drop him.
Drop him.
He should not be rostered.
Last week. Do you want to know his
available.
stats for last week?
No.
0 receptions, 0 yardage.
He has like 11 yards receiving for the year, doesn't he?
Goose.
How many yards receiving for the year?
11.
11 yards receiving through 2 games.
How many catches?
1,
2 receptions.
No, bro, no, exactly.
In 2 games.
Muster
in the
up.
whole,
Like, come on, man.
in the whole 60 minutes.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Terrible, man. That's terrible. 120 minutes. This man
120
has
minutes.
11 yards.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite us.
We'll go there. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, it can.
A replay moment.
I mean, hopefully he does, but I mean, Rob is not involved in that offense from what I've seen. Like, they're not throwing to the tight end. Bruce Arians throws to his wideouts. And they're getting Chris Godwin back this week with Mike Evans. Mike Evans had a good week last week. They about to just get back to where they were supposed to be week 1. They had a hobbled Mike Evans out there. Now they got a healthy Mike Evans. Come on, man. Like, I'm good on Rob, man. And they got O.J. Howard scoring touchdowns over there. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. I heard somebody else's name. Another tight end scored over there.
They don't got Cameron Brett no more.
No, I don't think they probably do. Right in the cut, like you know what I'm saying. Like, but regardless, like I'm not. I think if you got Rob Gronkowski, you should be looking at the waiver wire pickups and grabbing somebody, anybody. Yeah. Now I would say downgrade Evan Ingram. He's my guy that, of course, everybody out there, if you have him on your team, you're starting unless you have a better option. But Evan Ingram versus San Fran, Daniel Jones has not looked like Daniel Jones the preseason, and I mean, without Saquon Barkley, I don't think people are keying in on it. Yeah, I got you. And I don't think that too many right. I don't think too many people are keying in on their backfield. So I mean, I think that I feel like the best player on their offense is Evan Ingram, and really good players on really bad teams. Once again, that kind of goes hand to hand. Like they're gonna be keen on that. So you downgrade him. He could have a big game potentially. And I can see a lot of garbage time in the San Francisco game. So you could start him there. But outside of that, I would downgrade him. I would sit the Buffalo Bills defense against the Rams because Miami just gave the Bills everything they needed. And if Miami's gonna do that, then imagine what Sean McVay is gonna do. Sean McVay is going to dial it up. He's going to get his playmakers in space, and he's going to create. Like Tyler Higbee's going to. I don't see no answer for Tyler Higbee out there. Micah Hyde. I haven't heard much about Micah Hyde out there. Outside of taking Robert Woods out the passing game, I don't really see too much going on as far as Buffalo's defense stopping the Los Angeles Rams.
And this could be a big Cooper Cup game.
This could be a really
big Cooper Cup
Let's
game.
pray on it. Let's pray on it.
Because
Let's pray on it.
White is going to be following. I mean, only because I say Tre'Davious White is going to be following Robert Woods because Robert Woods plays on the outside more than Cooper Cup does. So I would say that there, and I would say another player to downgrade
Defense
at your defense.
Saints.
I would say to downgrade New Orleans Saints, and I had to eat my words on the New Orleans Saints after week 1. I'm not gonna lie, but after I seen Derek Carr shoot him up like that on Monday night, and then you got Aaron Rodgers coming to town, like you got an elite quarterback coming to town, I would say downgrade them. And now the reason why I say downgrade them and not sit them is because if Devontae Adams doesn't play in this game, then it's a huge change. Like it changes the whole offense. Like it changes because Marcus Lattimore is going to be out there occupied with Devontae Adams the whole game. So if you got, I mean, they're going to be running these crossing patterns and all that. And Janoris Jenkins right now, I believe he probably leads the league in pass interference calls. Like I mean, the team leads the league in pass interference calls. So they're terror right there. But as far as that, if Devontae Adams plays in this game, you have to downgrade this offense because I don't think there's no answer for Aaron Jones. I think the wideouts are going to have solid games. We'll go back to Allen Lazard and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but I really think that if they couldn't stop the Oakland Raiders offense where their tight end is getting a 42% target share, and Brian Edwards, a rookie, and Henry Ruggs, a rookie, and Hunter Renfrow, did he go out?
Yeah, everybody was getting.
He went out.
Everybody was
went out.
putting in
Everybody,
work.
it was wide open.
Everybody was
out there.
putting
It was
in work.
wide open out there. They schemed it up, and I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to look at this film and take it and be like, this team is beatable. Like, this team is beatable on defense, and we're going to do our thing, and we're going to produce.
I got to say this about Oakland, though. This was their first game in Las Vegas.
So
they came to play. They didn't want to lose their home opener ever. This is the first game ever in this stadium.
I mean,
they came to play. I don't know if it's going to be the same this week.
I'm not going to say they looked at like I think Derek Carr looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, he did. But what's the first thing Derek Carr said?
Who do you think is
Derek Carr said in this interview? I couldn't let us lose our first game in Las Vegas.
You think Aaron Rodgers is going to let them lose in New Orleans? You taking Derek Carr or you taking A-Rod?
I'm taking A-Rod, but I'm just saying some games, bro. It's just like It's like when Katrina happened. There's no way the Saints weren't going to win the Super Bowl.
And that Oakland Raiders
you know
team.
what I mean? Like they're playing for something.
Team is not better than this.
Like they brought their A game, bro.
They're gonna bring their A game, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah. They're gonna bring their A game. They're gonna be like as long as Aaron Rodgers is calling the shots, they're gonna bring their A game.
And
I'll leave it right there. Like
I said, that's one that I'm struggling with as well. I'm struggling with it as well. Like so I can't.
Yeah. But I'm just like
like it's just like damn.
I see
like,
why
this quarterback. Like they shut down Tom Brady in his first game with Tampa Bay. That's probably the only defense that's probably going to do that. Probably one of the only defenses. I mean, unless you're playing like Baltimore, Pittsburgh. The Saints defense is good, but they're playing an elite quarterback, and they showed me what they're going to do with an above-average quarterback last week, even though, just like you said, like it's a sentimental type of game. But,
yeah. Overall, I agree with the list. So we're going to move forward, y'all. I mean, we're going to wrap this up, man. Thank y'all once again, man, for tuning in with us and just taking our feedback. Hopefully we was able to provide some good things for y'all to put into y'all team, to y'all lineups, man. And join us back again next week, man. We're going to try to do this thing on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. So come back, join us again. Once again, y'all follow us on the IG page, The Fantasy with SJT. Once again, The Fantasy with SJT. Also, watch our live stream show on ItsNation. So, and then YouTube, once again, my man Mac, ItsNation TV on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. and then let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make this work. Everybody,
Make it work.
follow.
Like I always say.
Keep up with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're gonna
y'all
give y'all
always follow
good
Matthew
information.
We
For the
do
weeks
this
to come.
too.
You always follow Matthew
For the
Berry.
weeks
We
to
do
come.
this too, man.
We do this too.
We do our research too.
Yeah.
We're not just talking numbers out of ass.
If you've been
Like,
following
come
us, a
on,
lot of
man.
the stuff we've been saying is accurate. So, hey,
Yeah.
have
And
fun, be safe, wear
we'll
your
admit
mask,
we'll
man.
admit when we wrong here and there too.
Yeah.
You'll
Oh,
see
yeah,
that.
everybody,
You'll see that
you're
as
not-
well.
you're not
Credit is
perfect.
given when credit is due. Always.
Yeah. You gonna miss a jump shot here and there, you know, then that happens, you know. But we're gonna be right more than we are wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Tune
once
in.
again, y'all tune in next week for our next episode on Wednesday at 4:00, and we'll see y'all then. All right, one love.
One love.
Deuces.
Say.